My name is Mohammed Liboy. I'm a counselor with All Smiles Therapy Center. Today, I'd like to talk about trauma, just to mention a few things about trauma, and also to mention some ways, one particular way of coping with trauma. So, there is a well recognized, researched condition, mental disorder called post-traumatic stress disorder. And post-traumatic stress disorder is a pathological psychological condition where somebody goes through an experience that is life-threatening or goes through an assault, a physical or sexual assault, but a very serious event. And after this event they go through, after 1 month, 6 months later, or many years later, they have intrusive symptoms. They have flashbacks as if they're re experiencing the event that they went through. They have thoughts bombarding them and disturbing them, and they just can't control these thoughts that are haunting them. And in addition to intrusive symptoms, they may feel like they really want to avoid anything to do or related to the trauma. They may want to avoid certain people, they may want to avoid certain places. Okay, so they have intrusive symptoms, like they're haunted by what caused them the trauma, and then they also want to avoid anything that looks similar to the trauma. And in addition to having intrusive symptoms and wanting to avoid what caused them the trauma, people who have PTSD, their moods, their emotions are also affected. Okay, so they may struggle, they may feel really unhappy after the trauma, they may feel a lot of pain after the trauma, they may feel angry. So basically their moods are affected, and also how they think and reason is affected. So that's a little bit about PTSD, understanding what trauma is. It's important to note that trauma does not have to be PTSD. So somebody can suffer PTSD, but there are other things that can traumatize people, that traumatize us. Okay, for example, there may be many people who they were brought up in an environment where they experienced a lot of maybe rejection or criticism or ridicule, or they were abandoned. Okay, this can also be a life trauma. Okay, and it can lead to a person being haunted by memories of their childhood and struggling with different emotions, yeah, and struggling with different beliefs. Okay, so that's just a little bit about PTSD and trauma. It's something that many people struggle with. One way, one way, one way to cope with trauma is to practice mindfulness. Okay, and what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is the act of embracing the struggle, the emotions, the frustrations, the pains, the memories that one is going through. And one can be mindful either in the third person or in the second person. Yeah. So for example, if I'm to give you an example of how I would be mindful about a traumatic memory in the second person, I would say, Mohammed, you're feeling stressed. You're feeling really stressed. You're having memories and thoughts of what happened. Okay, and it has happened, and it's very painful. Yeah, but it is what it is. Okay, so when you're mindful, or when a person is mindful, you tell yourself that you're having these thoughts and you're having these feelings. Okay, and it's important to remind yourself that it's going to be okay. So you can be mindful in the second person or the third person. Okay, you can say Mohammed or so and so, mentioning your own name. You're struggling with pain. You're having these stressful thoughts. You're having these stressful memories. It's going to be okay. You're going to cope well. Keep going. Or you can even be mindful in the third person. It's strange, but it works because it helps you to process and detach away from your feelings. You can say, Mohammed is having some stressful thoughts. Mohammed is having some stressful memories, and he's going to be okay, and he's going to have a productive day, and it will all be well. He's having some difficult thoughts. He's going through something difficult, or Mohammed has just broken up with his girlfriend, and Mohammed is experiencing some great stress. Mohammed is experiencing some great pain after the breakup, but he's going to be able to do what he needs to do today. Okay, so that's an example of practicing mindfulness. Okay, just talking to oneself and paying attention to the emotions that one is feeling in the here and now and accepting them. As you encourage yourself to keep going. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope it's helpful.